Have you ever worked incredibly hard for something, only to have someone else demand you just hand it over to them? This is the story of how I bought my first house after years of sacrifice and hard work, and how my entitled sister decided it should be hers instead. Because apparently, her poor life choices meant she deserved my house more than I did. My name is Ryan. I'm 34 years old, and this story is about family entitlement, forged documents, and the moment I finally stood up for myself. I need to give you some background about my sister and me first. My sister Lisa is 29 years old. We grew up in a pretty average middle-class family. Our parents weren't rich, but we weren't struggling either. Comfortable. But from a young age, Lisa and I were very different people. I was the responsible one. I got good grades. I worked part-time jobs starting at 16. I saved money. I went to community college while working full-time to avoid student debt. I was careful, planned ahead, thought about the future. Lisa was the opposite. She was impulsive, fun-loving, never thought about consequences. Dropped out of college after one semester. Moved from job to job. Spent money as soon as she got it. And our parents just enabled it. When Lisa got fired from yet another job at 22, our parents paid her rent for 6 months. When Lisa totaled her car because she was texting and driving, our parents bought her a new one. When Lisa racked up $8,000 in credit card debt, our parents paid it off. They always had an excuse. She's going through a rough time. She's still figuring things out. Be patient with her. But they never offered me that kind of help, because I didn't need it. I was responsible. I handled my own problems. I'm not going to lie. It bothered me sometimes. But I told myself it was fine. I was proud of being independent. By the time I was 28, I'd been working as an electrical contractor for 6 years. I'd saved aggressively. Lived in a cheap apartment with 2 roommates. Drove an old Honda Civic. Didn't take vacations. Packed my lunch every day. Lived below my means. I had $60,000 saved up for a down payment on a house. I spent months looking at properties. Finally found a perfect 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in a decent neighborhood. Nothing fancy. Just a solid starter home. Listed at $280,000. I put down my $60,000. Got approved for a mortgage. And at 28 years old, I bought my first house. I was so proud. This was mine. Something I'd worked for and earned through years of discipline and sacrifice. The first night I slept in my own house, I remember lying on an air mattress in the empty living room and just feeling this incredible sense of accomplishment. I'd done it. All by myself. My parents were happy for me. They came to see the house. My dad helped me with some minor repairs. My mom brought me housewarming gifts. Lisa came by once. Walked through it, made comments like, "It's smaller than I expected," and "This neighborhood is kind of far from everything." But whatever. I didn't buy the house to impress Lisa. Over the next 3 years, I fixed the place up, renovated the kitchen, redid the bathrooms, landscaped the yard. It wasn't just a house anymore. It was my home. During those same 3 years, Lisa's life continued its chaotic trajectory. She got pregnant at 26. The father was some guy she'd been dating for 3 months. He left when she told him she was pregnant. Our parents were upset, but supportive. They threw her a baby shower, helped her get set up with baby stuff. Lisa had a baby girl named Emma. Beautiful kid. And for a while, I thought maybe motherhood would make Lisa more responsible. It didn't. She couldn't hold down a job. She moved back in with our parents when Emma was 6 months old. Our parents were now providing free housing, free childcare, and financial support, while Lisa tried to figure things out. Then, at 28, Lisa got pregnant again. Different guy. Another short relationship that didn't last. This time she had twins. 2 boys, Mason and Carter. So now, at 29 years old, Lisa was a single mother of 3 children under the age of 3. living with our parents, no job, no prospects, no plan. And our parents were drowning. Their house wasn't big enough. Their retirement savings were being depleted. They loved their grandkids, but they were exhausted. That's when Lisa started looking at my house. It started casually enough. Lisa came over one Sunday afternoon with the kids. I didn't mind. I liked seeing my niece and nephews. They were cute kids, even if they were a handful. Lisa walked around my house with this strange expression. You know, she said, this house has 3 bedrooms. Yeah, I said. Emma could have her own room. The twins could share. And I could have the master. I laughed, thinking she was joking. What? I'm just saying, Lisa said. It's perfect for me and the kids. It's perfect for me too, I said. That's why I bought it. She gave me this look, like I was being unreasonable. But you don't need 3 bedrooms, Ryan. You live alone. I have a home office, and I like having a guest room. Besides, it's my house. Lisa shrugged. I'm just saying, it seems like a waste for one person to have all this space when there are 4 of us crammed into 1 bedroom at Mom and Dad's. That's when I started to feel uneasy. This wasn't a joke. Lisa, I'm not giving you my house. I didn't say you should give it to me, she said quickly. I'm just pointing out that it would make more sense for me to live here. I let it drop, told myself she was just venting frustration about her living situation. But then she brought it up again the next time I saw her. And again after that. And then my parents started bringing it up. About 2 months after that first conversation, my mom called me. Ryan, honey, we need to talk about Lisa. What about her? She's really struggling. You know how hard it is for her with 3 kids and no job. I know, Mom, but what do you want me to do about it? Well, your father and I have been thinking. You have that big house, 3 bedrooms, and you're just one person. My stomach dropped. Mom, no. Hear me out, she said. What if Lisa and the kids moved into your house? Just temporarily, until she gets back on her feet. Absolutely not. Ryan, she's your sister. She needs help. She needs to figure her life out, and that's not my responsibility. How can you be so selfish? My mom said, her voice rising. You have so much space. She has 3 children who need a real home. Then she should get a job and find her own place. You know it's not that simple, my mom said. She can't afford childcare. She can't work if she has no one to watch the kids. That's not my problem, Mom. There was a long silence. I'm very disappointed in you, Ryan, she said. I raised you to care about family. She hung up. Over the next few weeks, the pressure intensified. My dad called, tried the reasonable approach. Look, son, I know it's your house. We're not saying you have to give it to her permanently. But maybe just let her and the kids stay there for a year or 2 while she figures things out. Dad, if I let her move in, she'll never leave. That's not fair to Lisa. She's trying. Is she? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like she's just expecting everyone else to solve her problems. My dad sighed. You're being very hard on her. Lisa started texting me. Long messages about how hard her life was. How she was doing her best. How she just needed one break. How family was supposed to help each other. I ignored most of them. Then she started bringing the kids to my house unannounced. Showing up on weekends. Letting the kids run around. Making comments like, Emma loves this backyard. And the twins would sleep so much better with their own room. She was wearing me down. And she knew it. Then came the family dinner, where everything exploded. My parents invited me over for Sunday dinner. Said they wanted to have a family discussion. I knew what it was about, but I went anyway. Lisa was there with the kids. We all sat down to eat. The kids were being loud and messy, but that's normal for toddlers. Halfway through dinner, my mom cleared her throat. Ryan, Your father and I have been thinking a lot about this situation. What situation? I asked, even though I knew. Lisa needs a place to live. You have a house with extra space. It just makes sense. I already told you. I'm not letting her move into my house. We're not asking you to let her move in, my dad said. I felt a chill. Then, what are you asking? We think you should give Lisa the house, my mom said. I actually laughed. Are you kidding me? You're young, my dad said. You can buy another house. You make good money. Lisa can't do that right now. She needs this more than you do. I worked for 6 years to buy that house, I said, my voice rising. I saved every penny. I sacrificed. And you want me to just hand it over to Lisa because she made bad decisions? They weren't bad decisions, Lisa said defensively. I have 3 beautiful children. Who you can't afford to take care of, I shot back. That's cruel, my mom said. Those are your niece and nephews you're talking about. I love those kids, I said, but that doesn't mean I have to give up my house. Think about it from Lisa's perspective, my dad said. She's a single mother with 3 young children. She needs stability. You're a single man with no kids. You don't need a 3-bedroom house. Whether I need it or not, it's mine. I bought it. It's not up for discussion. So you're going to watch your sister and her children suffer while you live in comfort? My mom asked. She's not suffering. She's living in your house, rent-free. We can't do this anymore, Ryan, my dad said. We're exhausted. We're in our 60s. We weren't supposed to be raising 3 toddlers at this age. Then Lisa needs to step up and be a parent. And an adult. Lisa started crying. I am trying. Why don't any of you believe me? I'm doing my best. Your best isn't good enough, I said. I know it sounded harsh, but I was so frustrated. How dare you, my mom said. Lisa is your sister. You should be helping her, not tearing her down. I'm not giving her my house, Mom. That's final. Then you're not welcome here anymore, my dad said quietly. I stared at him. Are you serious? Until you come to your senses and do the right thing, yes. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and left. For 3 weeks, I didn't hear from my family. I thought maybe they'd calm down, realize how ridiculous they were being. Then I got a text from Lisa. I'm sorry about dinner. I know you're mad, but I really need to talk to you about the house. Can we meet for coffee? Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a Starbucks near my place. Lisa looked tired. She always looked tired these days. I know you're upset with me, she started. I'm upset with all of you, I said. I get it. And I'm sorry. But Ryan, I'm desperate. I can't keep living with Mom and Dad. They're driving me crazy. The kids have no space. I have no privacy. I need my own place. Then find an apartment. I can't afford an apartment. I have no job, no money, no credit. No one will rent to me. Then get a job. I can't work with 3 kids under 3, Ryan. Childcare costs more than I could make. There are programs, government assistance, other options. She was quiet for a moment. Then she leaned forward. What if I paid you back? For the house. Eventually. Once I'm back on my feet. Lisa, you'll never be back on your feet enough to pay me back for a $280,000 house. Then just let me rent it from you. A low rent. Whatever you think is fair. I don't want to be your landlord. I want to live in my house. The house I bought. With my money. Her expression hardened. You know what your problem is? You're selfish. You've always been selfish. You only think about yourself. That's rich coming from you. I'm a mother trying to provide for my children. What's your excuse? I stood up. I'm done with this conversation. Fine, she said, but don't be surprised when everyone sees what kind of person you really are. I should have known that was a threat. 2 weeks later, I got a call from a real estate title company. Is this Ryan Henderson? Yes. We're calling about the property transfer for 1247 Maple Street. We just need to confirm a few details before we finalize the paperwork. I'm sorry, what property transfer? The transfer of your property to Lisa Henderson. According to the documents we received, you're signing over the house to her. My blood went cold. I never signed anything. Are you saying these documents are fraudulent? Yes, I never agreed to transfer my house to anyone. There was a pause. Sir, we have signed documents here indicating otherwise. If this is a dispute, you'll need to resolve it legally. I hung up and immediately called my lawyer. My lawyer's name is Tom. He's a family friend who'd helped me with the house purchase originally. I explained what happened. Someone forged your signature? He asked. It has to be Lisa, or my parents. They've been pressuring me to give her the house. Do you have any proof they're behind this? Not yet. But who else would it be? Okay. First, we need to stop this transfer immediately. I'll contact the title company and put them on notice that this is fraud. Second, you need to file a police report. A police report? Ryan, forging someone's signature on property documents is a serious crime. Whoever did this could face felony charges. Even if it's my sister? Especially if it's your sister. Family doesn't get a pass for committing fraud. I filed the police report that afternoon. The police took my statement. I gave them copies of everything the title company had sent me. The detective assigned to the case said they'd investigate. 2 days later, they called me back. Mr. Henderson, we've analyzed the documents. The signature is definitely forged. We also traced where the documents originated. They were filed by your sister, Lisa Henderson. What happens now? We're going to bring her in for questioning. Depending on what she says, she could be charged with attempted fraud, forgery, and possibly identity theft. What if she claims my parents helped her? If there's evidence of that, they could be charged too. I felt sick. I didn't want my family to go to jail, but they'd literally tried to steal my house. Lisa was arrested 3 days later. My parents called me, hysterical. How could you do this to your sister? My mom screamed. You had her arrested. She tried to forge my signature and steal my house. She wasn't stealing. She was just trying to make things easier. By committing felony fraud? You're going to destroy this family, my dad said. Is that what you want? I want my house, that I worked for and bought with my own money. Is that really so unreasonable? You could drop the charges, my mom said. Tell the police it was all a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a crime. My mom started sobbing. She's going to go to prison. Her children will lose their mother. And it will be your fault. No, I said. It will be her fault. She made this choice. They hung up on me. Lisa was charged with forgery and attempted fraud. The prosecutor offered her a plea deal: probation, community service, and restitution. No jail time if she admitted what she'd done. She took the deal. At the hearing, Lisa stood in front of the judge and admitted she'd forged my signature on property transfer documents. She claimed she did it because she was desperate and thought I wouldn't help her any other way. The judge was not sympathetic. Desperation doesn't excuse breaking the law, he said. You tried to steal your brother's house. That's not just wrong, it's criminal. Lisa cried through the whole hearing. She was sentenced to 2 years of probation, 200 hours of community service, and ordered to pay me $5,000 in restitution for legal fees. My parents paid the $5,000. Lisa didn't have it. After the hearing, my parents cut me off completely. No calls, no texts, no contact. I heard through extended family that they were telling everyone I'd betrayed Lisa, that I'd had her arrested over a misunderstanding, that I cared more about a house than my own family. Some relatives believed them, stopped talking to me, but others reached out. Cousins, aunts, uncles, who'd heard Lisa's side and my side, and knew my side was the truth. My Uncle Dave called me. Your parents have been spoiling Lisa her whole life, he said. This was bound to happen eventually. You did the right thing. Don't let them guilt you. My Aunt Karen sent me a long text about how proud she was of me for standing up for myself. It helped. A little. It's been 8 months since all of this happened. Lisa is living in a subsidized apartment now. 2 bedrooms for her and the 3 kids. It's not ideal, but it's hers. She's on welfare and food stamps. She's in a job training program. For the first time in her life, she's actually facing consequences for her choices. And honestly, I think it might be good for her. She's starting to grow up. My parents still aren't talking to me. I've tried reaching out a few times. They ignore me. It hurts, but I'm learning to accept it. I still have my house. I refinanced recently, and my mortgage payments went down. I've started dating someone. Her name is Claire. She knows the whole story. She thinks my family is insane and says I dodged a bullet. She's probably right. Some people have asked me if I feel guilty. The answer is complicated. I feel guilty that things got this bad. I feel guilty that Lisa's kids are growing up in a chaotic situation. But I don't feel guilty for keeping my house. I earned it. I worked for it. And no one, not even family, has the right to take that away from me. My parents raised me to value hard work, to be responsible, to plan ahead. And then they punished me for doing exactly that. They enabled Lisa's irresponsibility for so long that she genuinely believed she deserved my house more than I did. That my success meant I owed her something. But that's not how life works. You don't get to demand other people's things just because you need them more. You don't get to fake documents and commit fraud and expect no consequences. And you don't get to guilt someone into giving up years of their hard work because you made bad choices. So here's my question for all of you. If your family member tried to steal your house through forged documents, would you press charges, even knowing it might destroy your relationship with your family forever? Was I wrong to have my sister arrested? Or was I right to protect what's mine? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Not the asshole if you think I did the right thing by pressing charges. You're the asshole if you think I should have let it go because she's family. Everyone sucks here if you think everyone handled this badly. No assholes. Here if you think this was just a sad situation with no villains. And if you've ever dealt with entitled family members, share your story. Sometimes it helps to know you're not alone. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more real stories about family drama, boundaries, and standing up for yourself. See you in the next episode. I want to tell you what happened in the months after the court case, because that's when things got even more complicated. About 3 months after Lisa's sentencing, I got a call from an unknown number. "Ryan Henderson?" a woman's voice said. "Yes. This is Sarah Morrison from Child Protective Services. I'm calling about your niece and nephews." My heart sank. "What about them?" "We received a report that the children are living in an unsafe environment. We've opened an investigation." "Who made the report?" "I can't disclose that information, but I wanted to reach out to you as a family member to see if you'd be willing to provide a statement about the children's situation." I agreed to meet with her. The CPS investigator came to my house 2 days later. She was professional, but clearly concerned. "Your sister is living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 children under 4 years old," she said. "The apartment is not in great condition. There's not much food. The twins are sharing a crib that's too small for both of them." "Is Lisa hurting the kids?" I asked. "No signs of abuse, but there are signs of neglect. The children aren't getting proper care. Lisa seems overwhelmed." "She is overwhelmed," I said. "She's always been overwhelmed. The question is whether these children are safe in her care. You're listed as next of kin. Would you be willing to take temporary guardianship if it comes to that?" The question hit me like a punch to the gut. I don't know," I said honestly. "I'm not equipped to take care of 3 kids." I understand, but I wanted to present the option. After she left, I sat in my house for hours, thinking about those kids. Emma, Mason, Carter. They were innocent in all of this, but taking them in would completely upend my life. And hadn't I already sacrificed enough for Lisa's bad choices? I called my girlfriend Claire that night. CPS might take the kids from Lisa, I told her. Oh my God, are they okay? They're not being abused, but Lisa can't handle 3 kids on her own in that tiny apartment with no money. What does this mean for you? They asked if I'd take them. Temporary guardianship. Claire was quiet for a moment. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me feels like I should help. They're my niece and nephews, but another part of me thinks I've already done enough. I already lost my relationship with my parents because I wouldn't enable Lisa. If I take the kids now, am I just enabling her again? I don't think taking care of innocent children is the same as enabling your sister, Claire said gently. She was right, but it didn't make the decision easier. 2 weeks later, CPS called again. Mr. Henderson, we've completed our investigation. We're not removing the children at this time, but Lisa has been put on a supervision plan. She needs to complete parenting classes, maintain a cleaner home, and keep regular appointments with a social worker. Okay, I said, relieved and disappointed at the same time. However, we wanted to let you know that if she doesn't comply with the plan, we may need to revisit placement options. Great, so this wasn't over. A month after that, Lisa called me. I almost didn't answer. We hadn't spoken since the court hearing. Ryan, she said. Her voice was small, broken. What do you want, Lisa? I'm sorry. I waited. I'm so sorry for everything, for trying to take your house, for the forgery, for putting you through all of that. I was wrong. I still didn't say anything. CPS came to my apartment, she continued. They told me I'm not taking good enough care of the kids. And they're right. I'm failing at everything. What do you want from me? I asked. I don't want anything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and that I get it now. Why you wouldn't give me the house. Why you pressed charges. You were right. About all of it. This was the first time in Lisa's life she'd ever admitted she was wrong about anything. Are you doing the parenting classes? I asked. Yeah, 3 times a week. They're actually helping. I'm learning stuff I should have known already. That's good. Ryan, can I ask you something? What? Do you think I'm a bad mom? I thought about how to answer that. I think you're a mom who's trying her best in a situation you weren't prepared for. But no, I don't think you're bad. I think you need help. She started crying. I love my kids so much, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so tired all the time, and I feel like I'm drowning. Have you talked to Mom and Dad about this? They're still mad at you. They don't want to help me if it means being disloyal to them or something. It's so messed up. Yeah, I said. It really is. Can I ask you one more thing? Depends on what it is. Can you come visit? The kids ask about Uncle Ryan sometimes. Emma remembers your house. She talks about your backyard. I hesitated. Lisa, I don't know if that's a good idea. I understand, but if you change your mind, the offer stands. I talked to Claire about it that night. Do you want to see the kids? She asked. I do, but I don't want Lisa to think that means everything is okay now. Maybe you can make that clear. See the kids, but maintain your boundaries with Lisa. Claire was so much smarter than me. So the next week, I went to visit. Lisa's apartment was small and run down, just like the CPS worker had said. But it was cleaner than I expected. Lisa had clearly been working on it. The kids were shy at first. Emma remembered me. The twins didn't really. But within 20 minutes, Emma was showing me her toys, and the twins were climbing all over me. I stayed for 2 hours, played with the kids, talked to Lisa about her parenting classes and her job training program. She was making progress. Small progress, but progress. When I left, Emma hugged me and said, "Come back soon, Uncle Ryan." It broke my heart a little. Over the next few months, I visited once a week. Claire started coming with me sometimes. She was great with the kids. Emma adored her. Lisa and I weren't close. We probably never would be. But we were civil, cordial, working on rebuilding some kind of relationship. And slowly, Lisa was getting her life together. She got a part-time job at a grocery store. The kids started going to a subsidized daycare. She finished her parenting classes. She was still on welfare, still struggling financially, but she was trying. My parents still weren't speaking to me. I'd sent them a few texts over the months, telling them I was visiting Lisa and the kids, that Lisa was doing better, that maybe we could all work toward fixing this family. They never responded. 6 months after the court case, Lisa called me again. "Ryan, I need to tell you something." "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. I wanted you to know that I got a full-time job at the grocery store. They're promoting me to assistant manager." "Lisa, that's amazing." "I know. I can't believe it. The manager said I've been a really hard worker, and she thinks I have potential. I'm so proud of you. And with the raise, I'll be able to afford a bigger apartment. Maybe even a 3-bedroom. The kids could each have their own space." "That's great. I couldn't have done this without the kick in the ass I got. From CPS, from the court case, from you." "What do you mean?" "You were right to press charges, Ryan. I needed to face consequences. For the first time in my life, I couldn't just have mom and dad bail me out. I had to actually deal with what I'd done. And it sucked, but it made me grow up." I didn't know what to say. "So thank you," she said, "for not letting me get away with it." "You're welcome," I said quietly. It's been a year now since Lisa tried to forge my signature and take my house. Lisa is working full-time. She moved into a 3-bedroom apartment last month. The kids are thriving in daycare. She's off welfare. She's even starting to pay off her debt. She completed her probation early for good behavior. We're not best friends, but we're family, and we're rebuilding. My parents still won't talk to me. I've stopped trying. Maybe someday they'll come around. Maybe they won't. I've made peace with it either way. Claire and I are talking about moving in together. She loves my house, says it has good energy now that all the drama is over. The kids come over every other weekend. We have a routine: Saturday morning pancakes, backyard playtime, movie nights. Emma told Lisa recently that she wants to save up her money to buy a house like Uncle Ryan when she grows up. Lisa told me that, with tears in her eyes, in a good way. Looking back, I don't regret any of it. Pressing charges on my sister was the hardest thing I've ever done. Watching my parents choose to enable her over supporting me was devastating. But I stood my ground. I protected what was mine. I refused to let family guilt manipulate me into giving up something I'd worked years to achieve. And you know what? It worked out. Not perfectly, but better than I could have hoped. Lisa learned to stand on her own 2 feet. The kids are better off with a mother who's learning responsibility. And I still have my house, my home, my peace. Setting boundaries with family is hard. Sometimes it feels cruel. Sometimes people will tell you you're selfish, heartless, wrong. But boundaries aren't cruel. They're necessary, especially with people who've spent a lifetime taking advantage of your kindness. I learned that the hard way, and I'm better for it. So to anyone out there dealing with entitled family members who think your success means you owe them something, you don't. Your hard work is yours. Your achievements are yours. Your home is yours. And you have every right to protect what's yours, even from family, especially from family. Don't let guilt make you a doormat. Don't let manipulation make you give up what you've earned. Stand your ground. Set your boundaries. And if they can't respect that, that's their problem, not yours. You deserve to enjoy what you've worked for, without apology, without guilt. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope it helps someone out there who's dealing with something similar. You're not alone. And you're not wrong for protecting yourself.